Hi, welcome back to Garden on the Moors. We're in November and it's a brilliant time to be planting bulbs ready for next spring. So let's get planting. These are the pots I'm going to be planting into. There's some lovely brand new, never been used pots, which was really exciting. I've got these two big ones up here and then these three smaller ones here. So I've got two of these nice sort of ivory cream colours and one of this sort of browny green to match the other two green pots. There are two ways that you can plant up pots with bulbs. The first would be just to have one flower per pot. So not just a single plant, but like one group of flowers. So maybe we have one variety of tulips. What that's going to give you is nice, clean looking pots with a big explosion of colour all at once. What's a bit more popular now though, which is what I'm going to do, is to have a bulb lasagna. That's having lots of different bulbs in one pot and they're all going to flower at different times. So for example, your smaller things like Muscari and the grape hyacinth, they're going to be flowering quite early on, probably, I don't know, Marchy sort of time. Your daffodils will flower in April and then the tulips will flower in May. Roughly speaking, it depends on what it got and all the different types of things. But you see what I'm saying is that you've got this whole season, 3 months worth of flowers. Whereas if you just had the tulips, you'd only be getting those flowers in May for that one pot. That works well if you've got lots of pots, and then you can move them around and put the ones that are, looking their best at the front. The one drawback, I suppose, to a bulb lasagna is that they can look a little bit messy. So where you've got all the different foliage of these different plants all in one pot, it can look a bit crowded. So there's definitely pros and cons to both. I don't have very many pots, like nice show pots like these. So what I'm going to do is maximise the space and have a little bulb lasagna. So let's have a look at what I'm actually going to be planting. Okay, so in these smaller pots, I'm going to need slightly shorter, smaller stature bulbs. So I don't really want great big tulips or big daffodils that are going to be acting like sails and looking really unbalanced in these tiny little pots. So what I am going to do is I've got these two more creamy white ones here. They are going to have this iris, which is Iris George, a lovely dark purple colour. And this green one in the middle, I'm going to have these gorgeous little Narcissus, Julia Jane, which are a sort of, I can't remember the proper word, like a proper trumpety daffodil, but they're a lovely creamy yellow colour. And with all of these, I'm going to combine Muscari Baby's Breath, which is a lovely, lovely, really pale blue colour, almost like a misty white colour, with Crocus, called Orange Monarch. So I've got lots of different colours all coming out together there, and they're going to be matched by those smaller Muscari and Crocus, but still be different because of the different colour pots, and then each of these different colour pots is going to have a different sort of main flower in there. So let's say Iris in these and the Narcissus in the green one. Now for my bigger pots, I can get something with a bit more build to it. And what I'm going to put in these are some tulips. So we've got Princess Irene, which is a lovely pinky orange, or pink and orange tulip. And also another tulip, which is Pretty Princess. So two princesses? Princess I? Who knows? Princesses, I think. Pretty Princess, which is pink and purple rather than pink and orange. And they're really similar in that it kind of reminds me of like a sort of watercolour painting. They're absolutely beautiful, it all blends in together. And I think they'll look quite nice together. And then to combine with the tulips, I'm going to put these irises in there, which is Iris Frozen Planet. This beautiful pale blue and with dark blue lips, which I'm hoping is going to match quite nicely with the Muscari's Baby Breath in these smaller pots. So that's the plan. Now let's get planting. Now pots have two very important holes. Obviously there's this big one at the top to let the plants out, but they also have this one down the bottom which lets water out. That's really important because all of these bulbs here like to be, they like to be able to breathe. They don't want to be drowning in water. So we need to make sure that that hole stays clear and open and able to run. That's why we put a little crock in the bottom, just to keep it open. So you see it's uneven on the bottom. That's going to keep that open and not let it get bunged up with compost and allow the water to run through. That's another thing to bear in mind with your final placement, is that you want to make sure that it's slightly off the ground if it's staying outside, so that the water can drain away. And then all I need to do is put some multi-purpose compost in there. Lovely. And now because we're making a lasagna, we're going to have several layers, which means I'm going to sort of have to stretch the planting depth just a little bit. So these ones we're going to have the iris, so let's grab them. They want to be 10 to 15 centimetres deep, which I think once we leave a bit of space for the top, that's about right. And I've got 20 bulbs, so just want 10 in each. And when you plant them, you want to make sure that this sort of stubby end is at the bottom, because that's the root plate there, where the roots are going to come out. And this pointy end is facing up, because that's where the leaves and eventually the flower is going to come up. So I just need to space these in nice and evenly, and make sure I get ideally 10 in there, because that will give me an even amount in both pots. Right, so that's 9, and what I have to do is take them two apart. Lovely. Now very gently put some compost in there. If any do fall over, it's no great drama, because they'll still right themselves. It's just, you want to make it as easy as possible for them. Any clumps of compost like that, break them up so that they can let roots run through. Brilliant. Okay, and now the next layer is our combo of Muscari. So we've got 15 of these, so I just want 5 per pot. They're already starting to grow. So better get these in. So. So we've got 5 of them, and then we want some crocus too. So these want to be about 5 to 10 centimetres deep. And again, these are also shooting off. Which is great. These are the little crocus bulbs. So I'll just do 5 of those. And then we'll just cover these over with a little bit more compost. And then what I'm going to do next is water these and then cover them. Okay, that's our pot nicely watered. As you can see, I've left quite a decent lip around the top, which means that the water won't overflow. And it also means I've got a bit of space to top it. Now this here is some crushed seashells, and what that will do is it will top the pot nicely and make it look nice and pretty, but it also does serve a purpose, because what it means is that my delicate little plants, especially things like those crocus and muscari, what would happen is if it rained on that compost, the rain will splash up the mud and it will make the flowers look dirty, and you wouldn't get the full benefit of those lovely colours. Whereas if I have this down, it protects those flowers from getting, you know, splashed up with mud, and just keeps them a bit cleaner, and you can actually see all those lovely colours. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm planting these. You know, it's all nice now. We've still got some flowers out in the garden now, but when these come up, it's going to be quite a bleak time of year. Lots of brown and mud everywhere already. But I'm planting these so that we've got something nice to look forward to, nice and colourful in spring. Basically, start of spring. So that will do nicely. All we need to do now is just repeat that process for all the other pots. There we are. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a big like and subscribe for more, and then you can see how these get on. And I'll see you again next time. Cheers!